near the heel where it joins the hand. Five for 362 Australia. 6 runs to Ian Healy, 119 to Mark Waugh. Curtly Ambrose is the bowler. Just the 7 runs this morning.
Curtly is bowling a lot more within himself today. The usual end where the problem arises, the Vivian Richards stand end. Just a couple of people moving around in the background.
That's not just a misfield down there. Richie Richardson, one of the better fielders, made a meal of it.
Not what Curtly Ambrose was hoping for. His first short ball of the day. Richie Richardson. Well, when Richie Richardson starts to misfield, anybody will misfield.
Just a little bit bumpy in the outfield. He's just been given some advice from somebody behind the wire. He was a little bit unlucky with the bounce there. One of the problems when you've got slightly rough outfield and the ball is bouncing, it's a good idea to keep moving in on the ball. If any mistake was made by Richie Richardson with the one he misfielded, was that he waited for the ball to come to him. And it took the bad hop at the wrong time. Finished up going straight under his hands in the end. But had he been moving in, he probably would have got the ball before it took the last bounce. Attempted Yorker. Vivian Richards will just track it down before it gets to the boundary. Wasn't one of Vivian's better throws, but was well backed up by Gus Logie.
That's one ball that we haven't seen Curtly Ambrose bowl that successfully in this series, the Yorker. He usually bowls a very, very good Yorker. This just slightly over pitching.
Just been bowling within himself a little bit this morning, Curtly Ambrose. Just charged in a bit more with that one and put a bit more into it. I'm sure the bowlers, like batsmen, can get into the wrong frame of mind, and sometimes when you're running in with the intention of just containing, not quite as sharp mentally as you are when you're really boring in and trying to get wickets. That's when you can make mistakes. Over pitch, under pitch, lose the line. It's a better delivery. Australia now 5 for 368. Those in the outer are feeling it, but even the players are getting the breeze. You can see the shirts on some of the fielders blowing in the wind. Quite a good delivery there from Malcolm Marshall, but it's well played and well run. It's a good piece of cricket.
This century for Mark Waugh certainly has made him very, very confident indeed. Previously in the series, a short ball like that, he would have been flinching. That one just got on top of it, dropped it to his toes, off for a single. What a difference 3 figures makes.
Mark Waugh has gained a lot from this tour. Great deal of experience. Played some tough innings. He's come through them pretty well. Wouldn't have had this sort of pressure in any of the cricket he's played up till now. Undoubtedly the best attack that he would have played against. I think he's come through it pretty well. As has Mark Taylor, who has worked very hard on improving his batting. Craig McDermott's another one that's got to be pretty close to a wide. And it is. Malcolm Marshall just struggling to control the ball as he's getting it to swing.
It's the one that goes away that has been giving him the problems. That one, the attempted outswinger. Well, it was an outswinger, but a little bit too wide to be considered a good ball. The ones that have been coming back into the right hand have been well pitched, just on or about the off stump.
And a no ball, just to add to the problems of Malcolm Marshall. Getting back to Mark Taylor and Mark Waugh, they've both had pretty good tours. Will have improved their batting no end as well as their experience. Mark Taylor 633 runs from the tour. Mark Waugh up to this stage and still going 503. So they will have benefited greatly from the... That's in the air. Jeffrey Dujon, no trouble at all. Malcolm Marshall has taken the wicket that he was looking for. Ian Healy attempting to hook. He's got himself into trouble doing it before, and he's done it again.
Well, that's the breakthrough that the West Indians have been looking for. Healy not really getting in position to hook that ball. Simple catch for Jeffrey Dujon. Australia now lose their 6th wicket for 370.
For Australia, playing his first test match on the tour. He has come to the wicket to replace Ian Healy.
This is the way the short ball should be used, sparingly and by surprise. Good bouncer there from Malcolm Marshall. The first bouncer bowled by Malcolm Marshall to Ian Healy. And the total now stands at 6 for 371.
Peter Taylor is a left-hander. Malcolm Marshall will bowl to him. Just a little warm welcome to the wicket for Peter Taylor. Nothing that will worry him greatly. Fairly unflappable character, good temperament. He's played some pretty good innings for Australia over the years as a lower middle order batsman. 18 is his highest score against the West Indies. Hasn't had a great deal of batting on the tour. Made 83 runs at an average of 27.66, so with limited opportunities and a higher score of 33 against the under-23s. Malcolm Marshall just struggling with that ball that swings away from the right-hander into the left-hander. Just slipped it down the leg side.
Just can't get his direction right with that ball. Well, that was an interesting first ball for Peter Taylor. Greg, his very first ball in the series, zooming over his head.
Well, he may as well find out about it as early as possible. Malcolm Marshall, as you said, has used the bouncer sparingly. Has had success with it in that over. Australia are 6 for 372. Good short delivery there from Curtly Ambrose. Mark Waugh is definitely having some problems with that left hand. He's not quite as comfortable as he would like. The score, in fact, now is 6 for 372. The scoreboard not quite right before. They have changed. got it correct. We also have a change in the commentary position. We have Richie Benno and Tony Cozier.
Thank you, Greg. Morning, everyone. He's had trouble with both hands. The index finger of the left hand was struck yesterday, but before that, the right hand had been hit a very painful blow also. More credit to him for being 121 not out. Six for 372, and a very big welcome to Mr. I.S. Cozier.
I think we should explain the IS. Apparently I was quoted as an informed source in some international newspaper this morning. I don't know if that's flattering or not.
I've been around the world lots of times, but I've met very few informed sources. Now Marshall to War. It would have been a beauty. As it is, it's 4 runs.
Up into the far left-hand corner, and the goalie could do nothing about it despite the spectacular dive by Richardson. And it really was traveling too. Did well to get as close as he did.
Quite a good soccer player, Richie Richardson. So too is his elder brother. If I were anything to do with Mark Waugh's batting and his technique, I'd be trying to make sure that when he gets that short ball, he doesn't play it quite so side on. Everything is tending to fly away. There he goes, side on there, rather than around front on, and the batter's angled. I suppose in a way it keeps it away from short leg, but it doesn't keep it down. Still, that's a minor matter. It's 126. He's learning all the time, and that'll be one of the things about which he's learning.
On that matter of playing front on to the short lifting ball, Gary Sobers is a great one for that technique. And in one of his coaching books, he published a number of photographs of some of the great players against the short ball, playing absolutely front on. Ian Chappell being one, Sunil Gavaskar. Although a lot of the coaching books do suggest that you should be in the square on position almost at all times.
Gary was very much side-on player when he played his normal shots, but he was definitely front on for the short stuff. And it worked. It worked to the tune of 8,032 runs. And he's a fierce hooker as well. So it's 6 for 381, 127 to Mark Ward, 2 to Taylor. Taylor has striked Curtly Ambrose. A hunt for Reda Kubra from the University of Perth. And he's there no longer. Curtly Ambrose has got one to go away from Taylor. On outside edge, Duchamp takes the catch. And it is 7 for 381. Good delivery from Curtly Ambrose.
Classic fast bowler's dismissal of the left-handed batsman. Angle exaggerated when the ball pitched on left. Compel the shot outside edge to the keeper, and Jeffrey Dujon now has 250 catches, dismissals in Test cricket. It's his 20th in the series. Peter Taylor caught Dujon, bowled Ambrose, and Australia are 7 for 381 as Merv Hughes comes in.
102. Mark Waugh has continued on to 127 not out, and Merv Hughes is yet to get off the mark. Mark Waugh with just one slip in for Ambrose. Cover a bit too deep there with Merv Hughes not off the mark.
This is one that Mark Waugh draws away to try and slap through the cover region, but nowhere near.
Walsh at mid-on. Not quite the one that you were talking about earlier on this morning, Lloydie, where, as you said, just as you strike it, you know it's going to be 4.
Yes, at times when you hit it, you know that it will be 4, because sometimes it just hits the bat so sweetly. And Mark Waugh has timed them so well in this innings. He's hit the ball very crisply, he's timed it beautifully. It's a magnificent innings. It's a pity that he didn't play an innings like this early in the tour.
Curtly Ambrose has got him with the Yorker, so the problems for the Australian tail continue.
Yes, this is a perfect Yorker, but Mark Hughes is in no way to defend. He's backing away and hits just the base of the off stump, and Australia loses another wicket, and they're now 8-5.
Craig McDermott comes to the crease to face Curtly Ambrose. The story of the Australian lower order batsman has been a short tail.
Yes, the Australian tail hasn't really wagged in this trip. The West Indies have demolished them very often.
It succeeded once, why shouldn't it succeed again, thinks Curtly. Australia now 8 for 385 with the loss of Merv Hughes. Malcolm Marshall will continue. Marshall and Ambrose, the only 2 bowlers used this morning. Patrick Patterson is off the field. He has a slight hamstring strain. And Viv Richards conceding the single to Mark Waugh.
And Craig McDermott, he's not a bad batter, but the point is that since he got hit in the Jamaican game, he's never been the same player since. But he's a good striker of the ball. I've seen him being promoted in one-day games, and he's struck the ball quite hard and done a bit of damage to a few bowlers, but so far he hasn't done so well in this Test series. But this is a good pitch, and probably hope that he can stay around for a while.
Viv Richards, obviously very popular in his hometown. Some very attractive young ladies this morning selling Vivi fragrance here at the ground. They've got the Vivi t-shirts on and they're going around the ground, and they've got a little stall the side of the Viv Richards pavilion selling Vivi fragrance. Australia have lost Ian Healy, Peter Taylor and Merv Hughes in this session. They started overnight at 5 for 355. It's now 8 for 386. But Mark Waugh is still there. He'll be looking to get a few quick runs. Although Viv Richards is making that difficult for him. Just prepared to give him the single.
And Gordon Greenidge has just returned to the field. He'll be looking forward to batting on this pitch. The last time he batted here for the West Indies, he had a great innings, 149, and a record partnership with Desmond Haynes for the opening partnership for the West Indies.
That's got him right on the point of the elbow. It seems to have missed the arm guard. I'd say, in fact, just above the arm guard. Doesn't seem to be a lot of point in those arm guards if you're going to take blows like that.
Well, I think it probably wasn't short ball. It takes his eye off it and just hits at the bottom of the point of the elbow there. Very painful. Probably look at that funny bone that you have just by on your elbow.
Edge just short of the first slip fieldsman. Bounced just in front of the substitute fielder. And we say hello for the first time to South Australian viewers joining the telecast. Australia 8 for 387. Problems again for the tail. Ian Healy out for 12, Peter Taylor for 2 and Merv Hughes for 1. Craig McDermott has been down, but he's not yet out. Curtly Ambrose hitting him on the elbow, and then he very nearly edged one to the substitute fielder at first slip, just bouncing short.
Well, this is one that just dropped short of the first slip, and I thought that someone like Carl Hooper would be in the first slip position.
David Joseph is the substitute fielder. He goes now to deep backward square for Mark Waugh. And almost as many problems there for the top order batsman. Very good over from Curtly Ambrose. It's 8 for 388.
Good shot from Craig McDermott. Michael Marshall today, 9 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 19. Oh, that's close. Although it went away down the leg side, it just looked as though McDermott had walked right across his stumps there. It's the end of the over, 8 for 395. Eight for 395, 136 to War and 2 to McDermott. Beveridge shirts selling like hot t-shirts. They are here at the Antigua ground. Last ball of that previous over from Courtney Walsh, where I said I thought that must have been fairly close. It actually hit him on the back leg. You can make your own judgment here. Walsh only asked a small question of the umpire.
Ball was swinging. It's hit him on the back foot around about the crease line. And umpire Lloyd Barker has given Craig McDermott the benefit of the doubt there.
Good shot. Gave himself a bit of room for it. And he's got it away off the meat of the bat. Improvisation, they call it.
Craig McDermott has struggled throughout the series, laying bat on ball. He's looked a little bit more composed today, tended to stay in line as long as he can. That shot brought up the 400 for Australia. Just stepping away to the leg side, watching the ball closely onto the bat. He may not be 150 not out, but very important runs for Australia.
And that's Mark Waugh's highest test score. Beats the century he made on debut. 138 against England in Adelaide, 1990-91. .139 to Mark Waugh now, and Craig McDermott is on 7. Courtney Walsh, the bowler. Craig McDermott is no more. He was playing the full shot. Either top edge, or he may have thought it was the top of his shoulder. We'll have a better idea of that when we have a look at the replay. At any rate, he's on his way back. It's 9 for 402. Courtney Walsh has another wicket.
Craig McDermott probably shouldn't be trying to hook. He looked like he was starting to walk and then decided he better come back and wait. Didn't matter. The result was the umpire Barker has given him out, and Australia are 9 for 403.
New batsman and last batsman is Terry Alderman. Crowd settling back into their seats. Nine for 402. Courtney Walsh to bowl to Alderman. Alderman's first hit in Test match in this series.
Courtney Walsh bowls a very good Yorker. That one was a great length, just a wrong line.
No doubt about that. Mark Waugh remains 139 not out. Alderman has failed to trouble either the scorers or the workers on the board, and it is 403 all out. 403. The scoreboard says 402 for 9, now for 10, but it is in fact 403, providing the scorers will get it right.